niche fragrances from Dubai. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about a brand called Shaikh Saeed. Shaikh Saeed is easily available in the eastern parts of the world, specifically Dubai. I was first introduced to this brand in October of 2023 during the Beauty World Convention, and I fell in love with one of these specifically, but I picked up the 3 of these. I couldn't really fit any more. There's, I think, 6 or 7 to this whole line or series. They sent me the other 3, and out of the 6, there's definitely a favorite one here, and we're going to be talking about all 3. So we've got today on hand is Janata TR, and then we've got TR, and we also have Janata TR. So Janata TR means like the gem of history, I suppose. And then the other one is Fakhr, which means being proud of. And lastly, Jannat means heaven or paradise. So the first one I want to start with is called Janata TR. First off, the bottle presentation on these are extremely heavy. Nice glass bottle. You have some of these imprinted. It's almost like this frosted matte design, and this metal plaque on the front that says Legacy 70, and it has Janata TR with Shaikh Saeed. The cap on this is extremely heavy metal, and on the top you have their logo that's engraved onto the cap. It's not some cheap stuff either. The neck or the collar has this elastic black band around it with a little engraved emblem around the neck as well. Not bad with the presentation. The atomizer on this is also pretty good as well. It gets the job done. Nothing cheap quality about this bottle, nor the sprayer, nor the scent profile. So with the Legacy 70 series, there are 6 fragrances that are essentially celebrating the whole 70 years in the business. So they've been in the game for quite some time. So 70 years, and these lineup are going to be the highest end that they offer, the best quality of ingredients, etc. So Janata TR has to be one of my favorite ones, and believe it or not, you can actually find all of these on Fragrantica. Although relatively harder to find in the States, you can find them on Fragrantica with a lot of the information, etc. So they have some history behind the brand. That's kind of what motivated me to make this video and talk about it in a 2-step series, essentially. Notes for Legacy 70 Janata TR: you've got lemon, cardamom, pepper at the top, we have frankincense, some verbena in the mid, and then we've got amber, leather, balsam, musk, oud, vetiver, and labdanum. So right with the opening of this fragrance, you're gonna get some pretty different contrasting notes. First things first, this is a pretty Middle Eastern type of fragrance, okay? It's a lot of this leathery, balsamic, resinous, contrasting creamy vanilla, maybe some slight vibes of ginger, and I'll tell you where I draw that resemblance of ginger. Although there isn't any actual ginger, it's a fragrance resemblance that kind of draws me there. Along with this contrasting lemon and cardamom, a very high-end smelling cardamom. The quality of ingredients of this is actually A1. But the scent profile of this is you have to enjoy more Middle Eastern, classic, peppery, woody, aromatic types of fragrances. If that's what you're into, then you're absolutely gonna love something like this. For me personally, I really enjoy this one, but it's a pretty masculine scent profile. What I get from the top is like this pretty hefty dose of some frankincense, some myrrh type of vibes, maybe some balsams. It's very rich and dense and creamy, but it's also very vanillic as well. There's a lemon top nuance to the whole fragrance, which kind of draws this lemon cream vibe as well. There's a pretty high dose and high quality smell of cardamom in this fragrance. It almost smells like they use a natural essential oil of cardamom in this one. So I really appreciate the cardamom oil quality that's in this fragrance. And then you've also got the star players, which is going to be the oud, the labdanum, and some of those ambers. So leathery labdanum, pretty creamy, rich, and it's also got that those spices of cardamom. If you like cardamom-based fragrances, Middle Eastern-based fragrances, you're gonna enjoy this one. This is done in a pretty high-quality fashion. So the vibes of fragrances that I get with this one, I get this Nishani's Ani vibe if it was to go to the Middle East and come back, basically. Nishani's Ani, he went to Saudi Arabia, he came back, or in this case, he went to Dubai, he came back, and he brought home some like spices and stuff. That's basically what I get with this one. I get that creamy vanilla from that Nishani's Ani, some ambergris, ambroxan, but with way more like cardamom, etc. And so for that reason, I fell absolutely in love with this one. It lasts a hell of a long time as well. Like I said, this is going to be an acquired taste because of its creamy nature, and you cannot rock this one during the high heat at all. So you have to make sure that you're smelling this one in the appropriate season or in the appropriate climate. In the heat, this isn't really going to be the best one. This is mature, this is grown man vibes. If that's the type of vibe you're looking to smell like, then this will absolutely get you there. I think that this one is by far my favorite from the entire line, Janata TR. It gives me that creamy, slight lemony top, along with some of those labdanums, very rich and earthy resins as well, slightly piney with that creamy vanilla. It's really freaking good. I like that Janata TR a lot. Next one we're going to be looking at is called Fakhr TR, and this one comes in a red style box, I believe, and the sleeve of this one slips off, and they're all the same presentation. The box is as follows, and then on the inside you get the cutout. It's a pretty high quality box as well. On the inside you get this pretty thick cardboard style, and on the inside you have a note. So fragrance memoirs of 70 70 years, presenting legacy 70, so heritage, the journey of 70 years, inspired by a true perfumista, the late Sheikh Saeed in 1954. And also you get another card which says all of the notes. So yeah, they're the first shop in Dera, basically. So Fakhr al-Turath, we've got notes of lemon tangerine, mid notes of rose, and in the base we've got amber, leather, tonka bean, and vanilla. Same style presentation, just a different color plaque, nice atomizer. Basically what you get with this one is going to be something leathery and ambery along with those florals at the top. This opens up with a decent dose of lemon tangerine blend that doesn't really smell like you can detect either one of those, but you're going to get this citrus top along with that rose. So it's like this very bright, uplifting floral nuance that's grounded and sweetened up by the amber, the leather, and the vanilla in the base. So it's not a fresh, bright floral fragrance by any means. It's grounded pretty heavily with those leather and ambers, but just the quality of the rose in the fragrance in itself. As a whole, this is a pretty ambery, leathery rose fragrance, but it does have certain aspects, or the top to this one, but it does have certain aspects to the rose that make it a little bit brighter. So it's kind of contrasting, but it's really nice, and it does take you on a little bit of a journey. It smells different. It's not going to be something that you've smelled before either, and this isn't something that I could say smells like something else. So it's this citric rose along with some of those grounding vanilla notes, ambers, and leather. Very different. It's something you'll have to experience and actually wear to be able to break it down. More of a fragrance that I would personally live with before judging, because of the fact that it's quite different. You really have to decipher some of the notes and figure out whether or not you like it. So I can't give you guys like an honest, full first impression. Right off the top, I really like it. It has this leathery rose vibe with some citruses at the top, but it's definitely more of a complex fragrance to just say, oh, this is like a 10 or an 8. I don't think it's fair, especially with niche fragrances. You really have to rock them, and each person's tastes are different. So we're left off relying on some of those descriptors, etc. So that was Fakhr al-Turath, also a really good one. Kanz al-Turath still remains my favorite one. Lastly, we have Janata TR. So this is a different color to the whole box and to the bottle and plaque presentation. For the notes, we've got neroli and peach at the top. We've got middle notes of rose, cinnamon, jasmine, and in the base, we've got oud, sandalwood, leather, amber, and musk. So this one seems like it's going to be on the fresher side of things, but with most of these fragrances, you can see that the base notes are pretty hefty. We've got amber and leather in almost all three of these fragrances, and this one is pretty good as well. Very good, actually. Very good, very different as well, but the rose is also the star player here. A bit more masculine. The cinnamon does shine through. It's this nice spiced rose. Ambery, I get some of that musk. Yeah, this one's pretty good. If you like rose fragrances, this is actually a pretty good one. It's got this rose cinnamon combination. It's got this rose leather combination, but with a lot of natural musk. There is an animalic facet to this one. The musk smells pretty natural, actually. Pretty natural. I mean, obviously it's not going to be natural musk, but whatever proprietary blend or mix they're using is resembling some natural musk. So oud, also, I'm getting some oud with this one as well. It's overall an animalic rose oud leather combination with a little bit of cinnamon. I didn't really get too much of that neroli and peach, I think because of the fact that I immediately jumped or focused on the musk, but when I actually look for it, I can kind of sense some of that neroli. Not much of that peach, but a lot of the notes are just kind of, you know, working together in support of some of those base notes. But right from the top, the thing that shined right away was rose and cinnamon. It wasn't that animalic from the beginning, but it surely became animalic from that musk and the oud leather combination. So animalic rose, a little bit of spicy cinnamon with a slight hint of neroli in the backdrop. I don't think that you're really going to be able to detect the neroli right off the top, at least for me personally. I wasn't able to detect it right off the top. While sniffing this one, I started to realize that this reminds me of something, but in my opinion does it just a little bit better. And the something that it reminds me of is Guerlain Santal Royale. So with Guerlain Santal Royale, there are quite a few similar notes, but done it in a different way. At the top with the Guerlain, there's jasmine instead of the peach, etc. But also with the Guerlain, it goes a little bit more animalic towards that oud, a lot quicker than something like Janata TR. In my opinion, compared side by side, I actually really enjoy Janata TR more so than I do Santal Royale. It stays a little bit brighter and less animalic than something like Santal Royale. But if you enjoy this fragrance, or if you enjoy that whole contrast between the rose, the cinnamon, some of those florals and the fruit, along with that musky animalic oud in the dry down, which this one still does have, then you're still going to enjoy both of these. The difference that I detect is this one's a bit brighter, easier to wear than something like this, and less animalic than something like this as well. Quality of ingredients on both of these are pretty good, and off tester strips, this one projects a little bit more, Janata TR. So for me personally, comparison side by side, I'd go with Janata TR by Legacy 70. Both of these are niche, both of these are high-end quality fragrances, and both of these do essentially a very similar DNA. This one, in my opinion, just does it better, Janata TR. So that's pretty much it for today's haul. My first and favorite choice would be Kanz al-Turath. Kanz al-Turath is actually really really good. And Fakhr al-Turath is also a really good fragrance. It's got a lot of those ambers, some citrusy rose, very different. Both of these are extremely different. Honestly, all three of these are very different. I suggest you go and get your nose on some of these fragrances because they are niche territory fragrances, so they're not going to be distinctive mass appealers. But that's what you get when you start treading into more unique houses that really specialize on fragrances, and these are all extremely high quality smelling. Janata TR, this one, I freaking love this stuff. Very Middle Eastern, creamy vanillic, a lot of natural cardamom as well, and it dries down. You get this Middle Eastern coffee tea vibe. I will say more likely to be this vanilla cream tea vibe with a lot of cardamom. And Fakhr al-Turath, not freaking bad, and the most animalic of them all is gonna be Janata TR. If you like an authentic musk fragrance, you're gonna love this one as well, Janata TR. So make sure to pay attention to all those descriptors I use, especially when treading into the animalic territory. Not freaking bad. A lot of history in the legacy of Legacy 70, Shaikh Saeed. They are the first to start the whole perfume thing in Deira. High quality fragrances with high quality ingredients. I thought this would be interesting to bring a niche house from Dubai itself, rather than just talking about Middle Eastern fragrances that are from Dubai that are not niche. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Till the next one, peace.